Kristen, talk to us. I've heard some practitioners, some physicians talk to patients, or patients have said, my stem cells are too old, or I need placenta or umbilical cord. Can you talk us through some of the science behind that?
Yeah, that's a great question, and one that really gets me kind of going. So the skinny, for lack of a better word, of umbilical cord, placental, cord blood, Wharton's jelly, they're all products that when you harvest them from the fresh tissue, they are rich in stem cells. Rich in cells, because it's a young, it's a baby, so it's the placenta, lots of cells. So the companies that sell the product to the doctor or to the practitioner, they process the placenta, let's say, or the cord, and you get lots of stem cells. Well, the problem is those cells don't survive the freeze-thaw process. So in order for stem cells or any type of regenerative cellular material to survive, there has to be a special freeze-thaw process for most of it. And what happens, you thaw these in the clinic, and if you don't have a special freezer that slowly over the course of so many hours brings the temperature up, these cells lyse and die. So there was a study done by Lisa Fortier, who is like the premier orthopedic veterinarian, equine vet up in New York at Cornell. So she's at Cornell. And then there was another study done by another group of physicians who do what we do. And then we sent samples off to a separate lab. A lab that, we were hoping this was the answer. So we could find an easy way to do this without having to pull bone marrow or having to harvest fat. And we found that once we went ahead and thawed that sample, there were no living stem cells. Zero, zip, zilch. So the FDA has actually really started to come down on a lot of practitioners who are out there spouting that these are stem cell products. They're first going after the manufacturers. So the manufacturers of these products have been told, you can't advertise this as a stem cell product. There are no living stem cells. So those individuals who may get a month or two of relief are really just getting it because there's still some growth factor in there, and they're getting a little anti-inflammatory effect. But I don't know how many people I can tell you who've gone that route and end up back where they were and suffering all that pain.
Disappointment, probably some more expense involved with that.
Way more expensive, disappointment, and they're just not being told. I mean, that to me that's unethical. If you know I like to hope that those practitioners don't know, and it's just the manufacturer, but I'm sure that they know. So, this is not about making a dollar. It's about trying to set expectations, realistic expectations with your patient.
And for clarification, all your procedures are what we call autologous. Am I saying that correctly?
Autologous.
Autologous.
I'm sure you can say it either way.
Yeah, I'll probably say it wrong. But can you describe what that means for someone who doesn't understand the medical terminology?
Sure. Autologous means it comes from you. So autologous is it's your own stuff. The allogenic in the doctor word is it comes from a cadaver or another living tissue, but not your own. So autologous. These are all autologous products. So we're using your own blood. We're using your own bone marrow. We're using your own fat. And we have to do it in special ways to not manipulate it. And we follow the FDA's guidelines. We're trying to work within the framework that they've allowed us to work within.